Jenkins is one of the most powerful DevOps tools, right? It is the backbone of CI/CD tools, or it is the backbone for the DevOps concept, right? Automation is possible with the help of Jenkins. Okay, so let's understand what is Jenkins. It's an open source tool that automates various stages of software development life cycle. Stages like once you write the code, building it, integration, automated testing, unit testing, integration testing, all that is possible till the deployment using Jenkins. It supports building, that means converting that written code into an archive, and then testing, deploying the applications across multiple environments. You want to move it to testing environment, you can move it. You want to move that to live environment, you can do that. Everything is possible using Jenkins, right? So the first important task what Jenkins supports is automation. Automates repetitive task. Multiple times you write a code, you had some mistake, you do the deployment, you find there is some mistake, again you go back, you change, again you build it. So keep doing it continuously until your application is nicely deployed, right? Extensibility, over 1800 plus plugins are possible. You can integrate tools like Docker, Kubernetes, Selenium and Git with Jenkins. So many tools can be integrated with Jenkins. It means now you are not going to use any backend system, you are not going to use any console environment, you are not going to use Git commands. Okay, everything is automated in the Jenkins. You will just clicking 2-3 buttons, everything will be done. Creating Docker container, Docker images, Kubernetes, monitoring the application which you have deployed, everything is possible in Jenkins, right? All these tools can be integrated with the Jenkins. Okay, technology agnostic means supports multiple programming languages and technology stacks like Java, Python, JavaScript, anything. Okay, ease of setup, creating using Jenkins is very easy because it is a GUI based tool. In the browser, you can log in into the browser, you can create Jenkins account, log in from the browser, and you can do whatever you want to do, right? You can just load the data into the GitHub. Since you are integrating Git also with the Jenkins, it will automatically detect and do all the task, right? And it follows master slave architecture, right? This enables builds for improved performance and scalability. Okay, so these are few important benefits of using Jenkins. Jenkins architecture. How does this Jenkins work, right? Jenkins follow a master slave architecture where the Jenkins server, the master, manages the build jobs and delegates their execution to agent nodes called as slaves. Agent node called as slaves, right? This setup ensures efficient resource utilization and parallel execution. Okay, if you see the architecture here, we are having Jenkins server where it is managing the jobs, that is the tasks, and then users, plugins, cloud, credential, everything is taken care by the master. And then we have slaves, lot of agents are there, right? Jenkins static agents and dynamic agents, something like Docker, EC2, AWS, Kubernetes service, Kubernetes pods, everything are supported in the Jenkins. So all these are slaves. Based on the instructions from this server, it will automatically, the slaves will work and do the tasks. Okay, so we will understand each of these phases in the Jenkins architecture. The first one is Jenkins server, that is the master, right? It stores the jobs, the pipelines. Okay, it manages the users, it handles lot of plugins. Okay, the credentials, everything it will take care, right? So if you want to build and deploy a website, Jenkins server will decide how and where to do that. Basically, Jenkins server will help us how and where to deploy the application, right? Then we have here jobs. What is there in the jobs? Okay, these are the tasks to perform. What all task I want to update a website, that is one job. I want to launch a new website, that is another job. I made a small correction in an existing banking application, that's a job. Okay, so that comes under jobs, right? So there are some tasks to be performed, that are jobs. Agents. Okay, what are agents here? We are talking about agents. So what are the agents, right? These are the machines that actually do the work. Agents are the programs or the applications that will actually do the work, right? So we have something called dynamic agents. Dynamic agents are created or used only when they need it. Only when we need, we are using these things. On the go, we are using these dynamic agents like cloud agents. It means they are destroyed after the usage is done. They are not available. Docker, you will be using Docker only when you want to create an image. Otherwise, we don't use it. It is in disabled state, right? So we have lot of methods. If you see here, see the communication between the server and the agents is happening through lot of methods. SSH, secure shell, right? What are these methods? SSH means secure shell. It is between for Linux machines. WinRM is for Windows machines, right? JNLP means Java based connection. This is Java based connection. APIs means cloud communication, APIs. Okay, for cloud we will be using APIs, right? So those APIs. Okay, right? So we have different communication methods. These are used by the servers and the agents to communicate between each other, right? So from the Jenkins server, the task will be assigned to an agent. Agent will execute and give the result, right? So this is about the Jenkins architecture, right? So all those jobs, the task, right, plugin, right, the credentials are saved. Okay, all the global configurations are saved. Everything is taken care by the Jenkins server, whereas the agents will do the tasks. Okay, the static agents will be running continuously, whereas dynamic will be required only when we need them. They will be activated only when we need them. After job completion, agents get destroyed. They don't exist. Okay, we create them only when we need them, whereas static agents like operating system will be continuously working. Okay, so this is about Jenkins architecture. So there are a few components in this Jenkins architecture. What are those components, right? So the first one is the Jenkins controller, right? The first one is the Jenkins controller, that is the master. It serves as the central system for managing a Jenkins instance. It acts as a central system, often referred to as a heart. So this is the heart of the CI/CD, right? It oversees agents and their connections, determining the task they should perform, right? Then Jenkins agent, that is slaves. It's a machine that performs tasks like running scripts, executing tests or building components, right? All that are taken care by the agents. And who assigns them? These tasks are assigned by the Jenkins controller. Each agent have its own setup, like different operating system, different software, hardware, right? So this helps Jenkins handle many types of tasks automatically at a single point of time. So there are two types of agents, permanent and ephemeral, that is static agents and dynamic agents. Static and dynamic, right? They are always ready and connected to Jenkins. Whereas ephemeral or dynamic, these are temporary. Jenkins starts them only when needed, usually in the cloud or using tools like Docker. When the jobs are done, they are shut down, right? So two types of agents we have in the Jenkins. Then something called Jenkins node, right? It's a term used in Jenkins 2.0 to mean any system that can run Jenkins job. Any system that can run Jenkins job is a Jenkins node, right? A node is a machine that Jenkins uses to run jobs. Okay, then Jenkins job means a task used to perform the work in the Jenkins systems, right? A Jenkins job is an automated job that you set up in Jenkins to do things like build, test or deploy, right? So some terms. Then Jenkins plugins. So plugins you can connect to GitHub, Slack, AWS, Docker, any lot of tools. It suppose see 2000 plus community contributed Jenkins plugins. We can integrate lot of third party tools into Jenkins, which are all required by the developer. See, for executing, for building an application, to executing it, we need lot of stuff, we need lot of tools. Third party tools are required. All that we can bring into Jenkins, connect them into Jenkins, build a pipeline that will take care. By building a pipeline, everything will happen automatically, right? That's what the final one is, Jenkins pipeline, right? So pipelines basically automate the process, right? With the help of CI/CD pipeline scripts, we can automate the whole process, which will increase productivity and saves lot of time. Okay, so maybe for simple task, we may see the Jenkins. Let me show you that. Okay, so we will see the Jenkins architecture, how does it looks like, how we build the pipeline, how we can integrate all these things. And the final one is the Jenkins workflow, basic thing. So the developer using Git, he will write the code, then you build, and then development, commit, build, test, stage, deploy, and then production. We know this. So basically this is the workflow which happens even in Jenkins, because Jenkins is the proof. This is the birth of the concept of CI/CD. Whatever has been taught or told in CI/CD, Jenkins is the proof of that. Jenkins have been the product of CI/CD, right? Everything what we have discussed in CI/CD is visible in Jenkins. We can see that in the Jenkins. Okay, so this is about the Jenkins architecture and workflow, right? It's an open source tool, very powerful tool, DevOps tool or CI/CD tool, right? Using which we can do the automation, right? If you know Jenkins, if you have worked in Jenkins, it means 99% of your DevOps tools or 99% of your DevOps concepts, especially CI/CD concepts, are done. Okay, so powerful is this Jenkins. We have other alternatives also for Jenkins. We also have the GitHub Actions, right? We have GitHub. I think we have GitLab CI. We have GitLab CI also. This is also one of the CI/CD tools. We can use any one of them, right? So we'll be exploring more about these tools also.